Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 9 of the Lands of Alaire. I'm Ian the Dungeon Master, and I'm joined here by my friends Tori and Aaron of Joined by Gaming, my younger brother Tyler, and my older brother TJ, and we are very excited to jump into tonight's adventure. But TJ, what's been up this week?
Not a whole lot this week. I got a lot of new comics.
It snowed.
Yes, it did snow here in Freakopolis land. But no, mostly comics. Some good stuff this week. Murder Falcon #2 was very good.
Murder
I'm
Falcon.
excited
Yeah,
for
you guys
that.
are gonna like it.
I don't think I've ever heard of a more modern indie comic title than
Yeah.
Murder Falcon.
No, for real. Shout out to Danny Warren Johnson, killing it. Just in case you're watching.
Very cool. What about you, Tyler? Anything in particular? I
I
know something happened last night.
was gonna say me and you stayed up pretty late playing some Battlefield 5, which
Yeah.
was pretty awesome.
You
gotta
are
say.
an avid fan of that series.
Oh, yeah.
And, probably among the best players I've ever seen or anyone could ever see.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Other than that, I'm still trying to keep up with No Shave November.
Yes, it shows.
Yeah, I know, right?
Really reads on camera too.
Yeah. Excellent.
How about you guys?
Yeah.
We, well, not too much. Catching up on Daredevil, and I started the Kaminsky Method, actually, with
Kaminsky Method.
Michael Douglas and Alan Arkin. It's a new show on Netflix.
Interesting.
It's
Really?
really funny, yeah.
Huh.
I'm
I gotta
really
finish
digging
this Mad Men binge. Maybe
I was
I'll
gonna
check
say, you're
that
gonna
out.
tempt TJ with this
Yeah,
info.
definitely.
And or are we talking about the game we played with you now, or are we gonna jump into that later?
I think that'll be a little
Later.
teaser for,
Alright, that's fine.
for later.
Sweet
Yeah.
deal. Well, you guys ready for the intro and recap and stuff then?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it.
Sweet deal. So let's jump into tonight's adventure post recap. You guys were left in the town of Lowton after your confrontations in the mines and so on and so forth, with your continuing, just escalating problems with the Midnight Court and the Trussar. And after the burning down of Nold, Arena told you that it was no time to remain idle in Lowton. You had to, at least before leaving, try and see if you could look into the corruption in the temple, seeing as one of their acolytes in the Temple of Pelor was no doubt a agent of the Midnight Court themselves. You did a bit of questioning about after leaving the tavern, using a well-placed zone of truth. Leander managed to pry out some info from the local acolytes, including the head priest and his son, Laren Green, and it became pretty obvious through that Loreline, the acolyte, was almost no doubt this suspect, or at least suspect number one. Arena convinced Loreline to allow you to search through her house and give a look at what she had going on at her missionary position, where she would go to River's End and then make her way back with new acolytes and whatnot. Wow. The crew is busting up! Was it because of missionary position? You know, I really attempted to avoid that phrase the whole time. Very well.
You did a really good job just
No,
moving
no,
on
not
with
until
it.
that point. Ha ha.
You just kind of confidence is
Going
key
through
there.
it,
Yeah.
right? It's tough with the recap, guys. It's tough. You guys.
It's not me tonight. It's not.
Jesus. Once a session, but at least it was right at the very beginning. Okay, so you guys searched her house and indeed discovered that she could by no means be a true acolyte of Pelor. She was not a particularly good person and was in fact an illusion as she led you throughout her abode, determining through her magical insight and abilities that she must be a sorceress of sorts. You delved into her basement through an illusory door and found there to be a very subterranean kind of lab of sorts where she was committing to necromancy and raising the victims that she would bring from her missionary exploits in River's End. You guys dispatched her undead fiends and killed her. Returning back to town, you reported that the temple had been saved. It's taken care of. No longer should the corruption pervade it. However, not before Laren Green's child decided to join you on the adventure that you're going to and commit to defeating the Trussar as well as Vorkin. And he is going to join you on the riverboat that you have set forth towards Lowton at the moment. We kind of ended in the night with you guys making your way back to the tavern. I'm not going to cut to the tavern or anything, but before the ship arrives, is there anything you guys would like to do in Lowton?
I think Gilroy would want to see Singstalter,
Sure.
the gnomish inventor.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll just go around with. What about Leander? Anywhere you want to go?
I'll check back in at the forge and see if he's got anything for me.
Okay. And you guys?
I think I'm pretty good. Erlon's just anxious to get going and end this.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That makes good sense. Okay, so Gilroy, in the evening you make your way out of the tavern where everyone's resting and over towards Singstalter's Inventions, the small gnomish shop filled with oddities and magical items that this gnome had created for any adventurer willing, though you attempted to convince him that he should probably leave town. And you come on in through the front doors, a bit of black smoke and soot leaves the doors as normal that's hanging in the air, as finally Singstalter seems to have nearly perfected his strange little metal box with an arm that extends out of it.
Okay. Good evening, friend.
Oh, Gilroy, good to see you.
You as well. How goes the inventing?
Oh, well, it's blown up less, so that's definitely a plus.
Yeah, much like magic in that way, I suppose.
I suppose so. Just wrenching away at some little screws and whatnot.
Well, I just wanted to say, I think our party will be leaving town after the events in Nold. Seems business to be had in River's End.
Ah. That's, that sounds rough. I know that Nold wasn't a particularly good experience for anyone, and, well, I wish you all the best. I'm sad to see you go.
Thank you. I also, I wanted to tell you that, your seeing eye beetle,
Yes.
that came in handy there.
I knew it would! He gets very excited and hops off his stool and begins to kind of dance around for a moment as he pulls one out of his pocket. He gives it a little pet, and he's like, these things are the best.
Yeah, it worked quite well. I was, surprised.
Good investment, Gilroy.
Thank you. Well, I think that will do it. I just wanted to tell you goodbye and take care of yourself. I hope things work out for you here.
I appreciate it, friend, but I think I've taken your advice to heart. Once I'm done with this little toy over here, I think I'll be moving south. Maybe we could meet again down there someday.
That would be great. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for you. You're easy enough to find.
Or I'll find you.
Wonderful.
Have a good day, Gilroy.
Take care.
With that, you walk on out, and he slings a closed sign and over the door, and probably the last time that Singstalter's Inventions will open in Sarangar, as you guys make your way back. And Leander, you leave the tavern, saying that you'll be right back, but you just gotta check the forge one more time. It's a real dwarvish forge.
Right.
And you make your
It's
way...
probably been a while since I've been to a real forge, you know?
You make your way across town to Thaladin's Forge, where once again, sitting at the counter, is Freyton Alson. And he is working hard on that warhammer that you've seen multiple times. And the second you walk in through the doorstep, he looks up and he goes, "You again. 1250 for the armor. I know you want it. Just give it to me and shut up."
Okay,
Give it. Reaches out his hand.
You know, it takes Leander a second to get the appropriate amount, but, you know, with a clink, puts it down on his hand.
Thank you and goodbye. And you have yourself some commanding plate.
Okay.
Do you need to know the mechanics of that again?
I would.
It's +1.
Okay.
And whoever attunes to it acts as if they have 1d8 superiority die.
Okay.
And you can make the commander's strike, precision attack, and parry maneuvers.
Wow.
That's pretty
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah, it's a killer piece of armor.
Yeah.
probably soon to be replaced with another killer piece of armor, but that's the nature of the game.
Yep.
And with that, he bundles up the plate armor and wordlessly hands it over in a big bundle and just boots you in the butt and kicks you out the door. He obviously is tired of seeing you come in and look at the items and leave without buying anything.
What can I say?
And you stumble your way back over to the Quran Doom, the tavern, with a bundle of heavy, jangling armor.
Right.
It looks very nice.
Awesome. Probably don't have it on yet, but...
No, donning it and attuning to it will take the night, but you can definitely do that.
Cool.
Leander just staying up in his room all night. Oh, yes.
I gotta fit it, you know? I'm a half-orc. Well, it is magical. So.
Yes, yeah. You do legitimately have to attune to it. Is there anything else in Lowton before we go, now that everyone's kind of converged back at the tavern?
Nay.
Sweet deal. So the night goes by quietly, just the cool breeze and sound of grasshoppers in the grass to permit you a nice rest. And in the morning, Bilberry awakens you all from your rooms with a quick knock, and he goes, "The ship's here! It's time to go."
Alright. I guess Leander walks out of his room at least. I think he's probably got on his new plate armor, I suppose. As well as a white cape or kind of cloak sort of thing. It's not necessarily vestments, but I think Arena had it was his, but Arena had been holding on to it, and I think she gave it to him that night when they were studying scripture and talking. So I think he's got on some new digs, you know.
Yes, Arena notes when you go out into the common room. She gives you a approving nod and goes, "Oh, that looks very nice, Leander."
Yeah, it's been too long.
So Leander's the first one out into the common room. Presumably, Melee and Erlon follow behind, not too far behind, and Bilberry gives you a good, quickly, out towards the boathouse, and Gilroy, he sits tapping his feet impatiently as you unlock your door.
And remove the immovable rod.
Yeah, and he looks up at you once you finally swing the door open. He's like, "There's only one lock on that door, Gilroy."
For you, maybe.
It's right outside.
Okay, alright.
And you guys all make your way out in front of the Quran Dune and note that arriving from the east, a long, narrow river skiff swiftly and silently docks by the abandoned boathouse. A grisly-looking man beckons towards the group with a hand that's missing a few digits. His deckhands quickly lower some planks by the boathouse, and with a cloudy sky above, the group meanders onto the creaking deck of the boat, a cooler wind blowing over the waterways. And then glancing down from his position at the captain's wheel, the captain goes, "Welcome aboard! Captain Grimnor at your service."
You'll be taking us to River's End, then?
"That's the plan. Bilberry, my friend, you got my gold, right?" Bilberry tosses him up a sack of gold, and now you see why he was so impatient about making sure everyone gets on the boat on time.
Right.
Yes, I have it. I took care of it for you. He goes, good. It'll be about 3 or 4 days, and we'll make our way on down. You rest up.
3 or 4 days.
How long do you think it would take by foot to...
Get to River's End?
Yeah.
3 weeks. There's a lot of rivers and mountains and
Right.
stuff to travel unless you take the direct route, just the riverways.
Is the weather...
It's cloudy, but it's not raining. The deck is nice and dry as compared to a slippery, wet one. Yeah. You do know Captain Grimnor is an older human and almost no doubt a pirate. Previously from Zayeda, he's made his way up here for some reason or another to take to these waterways. And then the only other person other than the deckhands that's of note is a middle-aged human with blonde hair and a slight scar down his cheek, who seems to be just looking over the edge. Merrick Orland is his name.
Eric?
Merrick. But everyone kind of takes to their positions on the deck, and you guys are kind of left in the middle of the boat there. Zorn, Olerin, and Bilberry go and hang out by some barrels underneath the captain. Ulrich looks off gazing towards the countryside to the north. And otherwise, yeah, deckhands scramble about.
Is there a below deck?
And there is. If you glance down there, it's not nice. It's full of rather dirty men rowing away, as there's not very much good wind to the sails along the riverways.
I see.
Gotcha.
Arena looks about at the group and she goes, well, here we are. Shouldn't be too long now. Maybe we should put a plan together real quick. When we make our way to River's End, well, who should do what?
Well, I'd just like to find Vorkin as fast as possible. Maybe go up and intimidate some people into action.
Yes. I suppose we could send Jantel into the countryside around that land and see if she can find anything. I have no doubt that Vorkin would be just as unwilling as any other free roamer to set step in a city.
Perhaps me and you could go, see if we can get in contact with the Jarl or some of the nobility in the area.
Yes, that's certainly a good idea. I think I overheard Bilberry saying that he knows some folk in River's End. He might be able to set something up.
What about you, Melee?
Probably just
Stick with the
Yeah.
group.
some scouting.
I, for one, am very excited. We'll be finally back in a bit of civilization. But there's jobs to do. I think, I could ask around, I guess.
Yeah, so it seems obviously find Vorkin is at the top of the list, but we should forewarn the Jarl if we get the chance.
Of course.
All right, then.
Seems we have some downtime.
It seems so. You know, I haven't been on a boat in a long time.
I've never been on a boat.
Really, Gilroy.
Really?
All the way from wherever you came from. Never been on a boat.
No. These 2 feet brought me here. Well, except for that wagon. Yeah, and other than that, I've spent most of my life in the basement of the library, really.
Huh. Okay, well, welcome aboard, she goes. And she leans up against one of the poles of the crow's nest and just kind of takes a seat by it and puts her back to it and rests with the sun in her face there, gleaming off of her armor. Merrick wanders a little closer to you guys, but does not directly start talking with you or anything.
Are we moving?
Yes, yeah, now you're making your way west towards River's End.
I think Leander probably just takes a seat on a crate or a barrel or something.
Sure.
Not necessarily start striking up a conversation or anything, but just kind of taking it easy.
Enough.
Watching the countryside, you know.
Yeah.
I'm admiring the craft of the ship itself because where my mother's from, I've never been on a boat this big, so it's pretty impressive. I've been on the long ships from our people before, but never for 3 days, so
Yeah.
I'm hesitant, but also like, wow.
It's certainly impressive to you. It's a large structure, made of entirely different wood than you've ever seen before is the one thing that comes to your mind. It's no maple or oak, but it floats well and it seems well constructed and you're confident that it will take you where you need to go. One of the deckhands gives you a sideways glance as you run your finger along the deck.
I'll take a position somewhere, obviously, on the deck of the boat.
Sure.
But I'd like to study this Merrick
Merrick Orland?
fella. Yeah.
Okay, you gonna walk up to him and talk to him, or just give him a look over?
I think just give him a look over.
Alright, yeah, he's a young, or middle-aged human male. He's wearing definitely adventuring gear, with a good many rations in his backpack and 2 long swords in his belt. He seems to be very well equipped for travel, much more so than the deckhands, who are obviously just like in commoner's clothes. He's wearing leather armor as well. Seems much more prepped for battle than anyone else here.
Except us.
Yeah, yeah, anyone who's not a
Right.
named character.
Okay, I guess I'll approach.
Sure. You walk on up to him. He does not seem to note your approach. Just kind of gazing into the water below as it passes on by.
Hello, friend.
Who are you?
I am Gilroy. Here with my adventuring partner, and you are?
Merrick. Merrick is the name. Hired by the captain to keep watch over things.
How goes the watch?
Boring. So he says he came up here for adventure. The Zaida's all tame. Those waters are quiet these days. And then he sails up and down these rivers till the sun drops and the sun rises again. And I haven't seen a lick of action.
Well, I could use with a break.
Well, welcome to the right place.
And where do you come from, Merrick?
Faring well, but... Well, my family made their way up north a few years ago. We kind of got booted from where we were. Found some cheap land near River's End, and... Well, the wife and kid, they need some extra coin, so bit of a sellsword these days.
I see. Can be pretty profitable.
Can be. You're not stuck on a quiet-ass boat.
At least you're not on a red wagon.
Are you?
We were.
And you're alive.
And we lived.
That's supposed to kill you. You know that, right? Like...
For a time I thought for sure it would. But, you know, when you make friends, sometimes they get you through some stuff.
I think Leander probably chuckles a little bit. Just
Yeah, you're overhearing
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Especially that's supposed to kill you, you know.
But yeah, we've been, past month, been fighting orcish hordes, chasing true Sauron. It has been a whirlwind.
That's funny. I heard about the true Sauron, but I doubt they got the money for boats. The funny thing is, a bunch of revolutionaries running about in the woods with hatchets. Doubtful that's going to make much of a difference around here.
Well, you might be surprised. Their leader seems quite capable.
Really?
Yes. Can I get some insight on...
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
How he, like, reacts about the true Sauron?
Sure.
Nat 20. That was a very weird roll, but...
I know.
That's my first Nat 20 this whole campaign.
Sure.
No, I think I've had a couple, but feels like it.
He's very honest about being a sellsword and his particular reasons for this. And by the way that the rest of the crew looks at him and whatnot, you infer that he has been on the boat for some weeks. But that whole thing about the wife and kids faring well, the land, like, no one would have done that in the past few years. After the River Wars, this is not considered a place to live where you would buy property. Like, that would be nuts. So all of that just raises a lot of questions to you. You don't think that part of the story is true, but the rest of it definitely seems to be true.
Right. Okay. I mean, with that information in mind, I think I'll just say, well, I'll be seeing you around, I guess.
Suppose so.
Much choice. Keep good watch.
Yeah, best place to sleep is the hay bale by the barrels over there. Points off. You're looking for some real rest.
I think Silas is already in it.
A few eye stalks poke out of the hay.
You know, as he looks at Silas, but does not seem to react. Like you would expect someone who first sees Silas to react.
Yeah, I'll just say, like, I think my friend found it already.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Yes, well, call on me if anything interesting happens anyway.
Can't seem to get away from it these days. Will do. Well met.
Oh, man. With that, you return seeing Leander and Dorina kind of lounging about, and Melee and Erlon standing about the deck, glancing around. The land continues to just pass on by a few mountain ridges and some valleys. Sometimes the river moves a bit swifter and permits you to get some good speed, and sometimes it slows down around the banks and it takes a good few minutes to make any certain distance, but you're definitely covering good ground, and as the sun rises further in the sky, you feel as though you are definitely closer to your ultimate destination.
How wide is this river?
It is wide as hell.
Like, can I see the other side?
Yes. Oh, yeah. No, you can. It's wide enough for this boat, and it's considered a major waterway for certain, but it's not. Yeah, it's not like massive.
Is there other boats?
There's a couple of fishing boats for hamlets. You see the occasional docks break out into the river, where various folk from villages and hamlets in the area would fish about on canoes, and the occasional merchant boat, though they only seem to be bringing furs from the north.
Right.
Okay.
So they just pass you by if it's a smaller, swifter skiff.
And we're all sort of just hanging out on the top deck.
Yeah, that's pretty much the idea.
I think I'll just say to sort of the party, as it were, well, seems like we're making good time.
To be honest, I haven't been on many boats either, but feels like it.
Arena stirs for a moment and looks over at you. Leander goes, "What is wrong with you people? Boats are the best way to travel in this. They call it the Riverlands."
Please, Arena. You only went on that trip once.
It was a wonderful trip, though.
You've only been on a boat like 3 times. Anyways.
She snoozes back.
I was gonna say. And Leander probably gets back to reading.
I go to Gilroy and I'm like, well, I've only ever really been on boats to either raid or explore, so this is a little bit different than what I'm used to.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, but yeah, this is like a highway. There's like so much potential here.
I wonder what other people, sail around here, what they're like.
Well, if they're anything like the rest of Sarangar, sad.
Fair. That's fair.
The captain gives out a big laugh at that. He goes, "Sad indeed." Anyone else going to do anything throughout the day in particular? You know, Jantel took immediately to the front of the ship and is gazing out at the waterways ahead of you.
I think Leander would probably make his way up there eventually.
Sure.
Just, taking a walk, stretching his legs.
Turn,
Yeah.
make your way up, and go onto this elevated platform that's a few stairs above. There's a sizable ballista up here.
Right. And Jantel is kind of
She's
keeping
scouting.
watch.
Yeah. Leaning against the guardrails of the boat and glancing out ahead with her elvish eyes.
I think Leander pretty much copies Gilroy's kind of statement, question thing of, think we're making good time, Jantel?
Seems so. As I know it, 3 days would be very swift.
Yeah, I mean, that was my thought originally. Hopefully we'll make it there before the true Sarin have any good ground.
Hopefully. I'm afraid, in those weeks where Borkin had already slipped to the south, he managed to gather so many forces. I couldn't believe it. But this time we'll have him, at River's End, and I look forward to it.
We'll be ready.
And she continues looking forward.
I think probably just walks back down.
Sure.
Pats her on the back and says, we'll be there this time. Won't have any catching up to do.
We'll be ready.
But other than that, I think Leander's probably eventually just chills next to Arena and maybe lights some incense or something.
Sure.
While he reads. But I think that's pretty much it for Leander.
Melee, you over here, anything in particular you want to do, or?
I want to talk to Bilberry.
Sure, yeah, you overhear them chatting away anyway.
Yeah.
Alright, so you move over there, and Bilberry and Zorn and Olerin, Bilberry is exclaiming, boasting, about all the friends he has in River's End and how, oh, it's going to be so exciting to see Uncle Garrick again and Aunt Garland and, oh, Maylee. Oh, I wasn't bragging at all. How are you doing?
Think any of them would be willing to fight?
No! No! I understand why your thoughts would be on that end of our struggle, but no, those are family. Well, as far as making myself useful, I think my number one priority would be trying to get us an audience with the Jarl. Surprisingly enough, I think I know an elf who is owed a favor by said Jarl, so all in all, it should work out pretty well.
Oh, good. When you got us this boat,
Yes?
did you talk to the captain or hear from anyone else about how maybe, what was his name?
Forkin?
Thank you.
No problem.
Was getting to River's End? If there's a chance he'd beat us there?
You know, I'm not sure. Grimnor! And he calls up to the captain. The captain leans down, taking his hands off the wheel for a moment. He goes, "What, you little bastard?" And Bilberry looks up and he goes, the Vorkin, you see any, boats with the true Sauron on them around here? And the captain looks down and he goes, "No! I would have killed them and stole all their stuff if I had. I'd be a much richer man." And he goes back to his wheel again. Bilberry goes, "I don't know how he's going to make it to River's End, but we know that's his plot. He did have that card at least, but we should beat him there if he's going by the roads." And you just hang out with Zorn and Bilberry and Olerin throughout the rest of the... Okay. Cool. Yeah, they continue chatting along. Zorn happened to make his way north on boat and has a good many tales of being at sea and being along the riverways and how he managed to get into Sarangar. And it's pretty entertaining because Zorn is a damn good storyteller, a very well-read man, and depicts the vast deserts that he managed to make his way out of before meeting a kindly blue dragonborn who took him aboard his boat, and it's a very exotic tale and very entertaining throughout the rest of the afternoon, which will cut us to the rest of you guys if there's anything you'd like to do anymore. Anyone else you want to talk with? Notably, the only person who you really haven't spoken with is Ulrich Green, who dressed in chain with a steel helmet and a large square shield at his side. He stands looking into the waterways.
And Ulrich is...
Ulrich Green is Laren Green's son. Though Laren Green, as an acolyte, couldn't really have a child. He joined in a bit of a fit of rage to this party. He was tired of the lack of action being taken. So.
Right.
No, I'm just gonna let it stew.
Not really my place,
That
I
would
think.
be fair, I think, yeah.
I think while Leander kind of flips through his book, if Gilroy's, nearby, I think he just tries to strike up conversation. I think Leander probably asks, "Say, Gilroy, I've never really asked, but do you put any faith into the gods?"
Well, I don't mean to offend, but no. No.
But surely you must recognize their holy powers. I mean, I understand arcane arts are very powerful, but the holy and the divine just... I don't know. I feel like it just does it for me more.
Yes, as I've come to know.
That's very moving.
I think what Leander's trying to do is kind of impress Arena, and that he's not a missionary. I mean, he is a paladin. He is a holy man. He's trying to spread the message of Torm, but he's never really done that.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And I don't think he realizes starting with Gilroy.
I was going to say,
is
and
not
then he chooses Gilroy to pick on with this.
No, I just can't get past the idea that, I mean, you very well might be some incredibly powerful mage's plaything, really. Truly, I don't recognize the difference between divine and arcane, but arcane comes from the individual. Divine, well, knows?
Leander left just stunned in the wind as it blows his hair a bit. He's just like...
Well, Gilroy, I'm sorry you feel that way.
I truly mean no offense.
No, I'm joking with you. I understand. You mage types are all weirdos.
Clearly you're powerful, and that's why I respect you. I just... If it doesn't come from yourself, I don't know, you might be beholden to something else entirely, and I just can't abide that.
Perhaps we'll talk more on the subject later.
I would love it.
And at this point, the sun is slowly sinking, and much of the day has passed you by as you guys manage to make your way around the deck, checking in on the group and making sure that everyone is in good shape. And it is at this moment, as you guys wrap up that conversation, that the captain begins laughing, and he goes, "Ha! Finally! Green sails ahead! True Sarin for us to take!" And it seems like there are 2 small boats covered in ravenous rebels who are waving their swords about and seem to be quite excited for battle. They seem to be ready to board, and that means I'm going to need initiative from everyone.
It's never that easy, is it?
No!
Hey, look at that. I was ready to go.
You're the only one.
So arena will count as much as the bonus party, essentially.
Right.
Erlon.
6.
Melee.
7.
Leander.
6.
Gilroy.
18!
Wow.
All fired up from that conversation. Ready to go.
Right, he was already
Ready
thinking.
to pick a fight.
Alright. So that means that it is going to be Gilroy first, and then due to the way that this works in Roll20, it's going to take me a second to get the other guys in. But essentially what happens is the boat,
Whoa.
due to the way Roll20 works, occasionally grouping things like that will cause that. There we go. The boat rolls on up, covered in men. The boat doesn't leave all its men behind. Sometimes you just got jiggle to handle with that. Oh, come on. There we go. Easy. Boom. The boats roll on up next to you, filled with yelling men. They are battering their hatchets against their shields, yelling out, and they lay planks down on the ship. Notably, one of the men on the far side of one of these boats is Adrian Liverton, who was the man inside of the wine cave, who said he was working for Sibelius at the time, and he's flipping a gleaming dagger in his hands, awaiting for the boats to set. Seems as though he's joined the True Sarn for some reason or another. So, Gilroy, they managed to get right up on next to you. That's essentially going to be their turns, is piloting the boats. But what would you like to do?
Is the boat touching our boat?
No, they like planks, so it's still a good 5-10 feet away.
Alright. I think I'll turn, see that boat with Adrian on it.
Sure.
Literally fired up from that conversation he just had with Leander, and just go, have one of these! And cast Fireball on the boat.
Have one of these!
He's excited! For once, actually.
Are you going for the center mass?
Yeah, the center mast. Yes, I am.
Okay.
So I guess, yeah, I'll hit as many of them as I can, really, to make it dex checks.
1 success, 1 fail. The DC is 15, right?
Yes.
1 fail, 1 fail, so the 3 are going to be getting hit of the normal guys. The 1 in the very front is going to be mostly evading it. And then Adrian fails, but he has evasion, so he will be taking half damage anyway, yeah.
2, 4, 5, 6. I need more D6s.
Look at us.
You can tell
I've
I've never played a wizard.
You totally have.
No, I've played sorcerers, never a wizard.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, this is the first time Gilroy's casting this
I think so.
ever. But he's seen Zorn do it.
Yep.
He feels pretty confident going into it. Enlivened, emboldened by that recent debate.
Yeah, and you were actually at the ready with a bead of arcane fire that swirls forth. You point your finger at the center of the boat. It bursts off and then explodes.
Well, that's a very average fireball. 28.
28. Well, that kills 1, 2, 3 of them. And the other ones are going to be taking 14 then?
Yep.
The ones who succeeded?
I think I'll just go, whoa! You yelling back to Zorn, you didn't say it felt that good!
Only the first few times. And in that explosion, 3 of those men go flying into the river, just smoking carcasses at the end of it. The other 2 in the front, including Adrian, are badly singed, which is going to bring it to their turn, and they're going to hop aboard. Adrian is going to make his way on over towards Arena, and he's going to make 2 stabbing attacks at her. He's going to hit with that one. He's going to hit with both of them. She's going to be taking 18 damage.
That's a nice dagger.
They are magical. There you can note by the way that they gleam, the way they shine in the light. This one jumps aboard. He's going to be attacking Merrick. You're going to miss. This one's going to jump aboard. Sorry, I didn't put planks out there, but they have a lot of planks. It's going to be 1 attack against Erlon for a 22. So that's going to be doing 8 points of damage as this guy slashes into you with a battle axe. And then 1 against Gilroy for a 17. Notably, for 7 points of damage. These men are particularly better equipped than previous True Sarin you've seen. They have pole arms and battle axes instead of just hatchets and wooden shields.
Right.
These 2 archers in the back move up to a kind of elevated position at the very center of these boats and begin to, or actually at the back of the boats. It's hard to tell with those ladders. And begin to just shoot away at some of the deckhands and whoever they can find a target on. So that's going to be 1 attack against the deckhand. Is a miss, and then 1 attack against Chantel is a miss as well. And then if we go up to the top one, this poor deckhand is going to get a little surrounded. These guys are going to move in at least.
That's a lot of guys.
It is. A full war party at the ready. And they just kind of line up in a position to begin making their way across the bow. And 2 more shots at Chantel. Miss. He's gotten lucky. The hit. He's going to be doing 5 points of damage to Chantel. Really isn't that much. Which brings it from the baddies to melee. They have all boarded and grouped up on the other side of the ship.
Can I make it up next to the captain?
Yeah, almost no doubt. If you run on up this way, you'd have a good vantage point. You could shoot down into that melee with no problem.
Yeah.
And with the range on your longbow, you can.
Yeah. So the one that's closest to me, that's the one that.
That'd be the one that's
Erlon.
attacking Erlon, yeah.
So I'm going to.
Normal attack?
Yes.
Okay.
15 plus 9. So.
Yeah, you got it.
There's some good damage.
How much is it going to do? 11. Boom! Erlon, the one that you were facing down, gets an arrow right into the side of the shoulder, and you have an extra attack now. Yeah. Nice.
16?
Yes. Plus 9?
Oh,
Yeah.
and another 11.
Oh, nice! And again, Erlon, it sinks right into him, nearly taking this guy out in a single volley of arrows, which brings us to Leander. Leander, this all happened so fast. One moment you were in the middle of a debate, and now you are surrounded by ravenous enemies.
Right, and I think Leander think he's gonna try and move up on those 4 guys right there.
Charge right into the middle of that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you run on across the masts and the crow's nest and make your way right into the front of this melee here. That deckhand there is very overwhelmed. He pulls out a rusted short sword, but he does not have the fighting experience to take these guys on.
Yeah, and as I run, I probably say kind of a quip to Gilroy, just like, from one battle to the next, I suppose. And but I think when I get up to next to the deckhand, I probably tell him, keep close to me. I'll try and keep you safe. And I take a swing at. Are these guys from Zaida, the deckhands?
Yeah. Most of this crew is rather darker skinned folks, which suggests that they're from the
south
coast in that area. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if the captain had picked up Sarangarians.
A few of them, no doubt. And you haven't really taken a good look at the rowers down in the bottom, but based on the amount of oars that are in the water, there's probably a good 18, 20 guys down there. They could be from anywhere. So which one? The one directly in front of you, or
whichever one has the biggest weapon? I feel like
sure, the one right there.
So yeah, I'll take a swing at him.
Okay.
For 14?
No.
Oof.
Okay. You have extra attack now?
I do.
Wow, look at my party, all grown up.
I know, paladins get that one extra attack, and then they don't get it any farther. I'll take another swing at him. I think I'm going to make it a Divine Smite. So,
okay.
Bringing down the Wrath of Torm on this guy, feeling the kind of heat of the divine energy flowing from the sword into my hand as I bring it down on this guy, cutting through the air. 18.
Yes.
For
a lot.
Yeah. No, for nothing. For 10 damage.
10.
With 3d8 plus 4. 10 damage. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's rough, yeah.
3d8 plus 4, 10 damage. Awesome.
Maybe it cut his sword and then into him.
Yeah, no, once again, these guys are much better martially trained and equipped, notably. They actually have armor. They actually have decent weaponry.
Right.
Not like something they scavenged together or took from their pa's farm or something.
Right.
Which brings us from Leander to Erlon.
So after seeing Melee hit this guy, knowing that he's not long for this world,
No.
I feel sad, actually, because these are my countrymen.
Ultimately, yeah.
And it just really upsets me that it's gone this far. So I say, Malara, guide these misguided folks to the shores of the afterlife, where they will hopefully seek redemption.
And she appears next to you, a much more identifiable shape now, instead of just a blur of mist as you've seen before. Actually has some feminine feature to it. And she gestures towards them and goes, I will guide them to peace. You take them on the path.
And with tears in my eyes, I slash down on the guy in front of me.
All right.
Seeing as he's probably also terrified.
Yes,
before I'm about to do this. And that is unnatural 20.
Yeah, you got it.
And 8 damage.
It's more than enough. You give him a good thrust, and that puts him out of his misery.
And in a swift motion, I actually cut through him onto the one next to me with my extra attack.
Yep, seeing Gilroy in melee is never a particularly great thing, so...
Another unnatural 20.
Wow.
Nice.
For 9 damage.
9. Boom.
17 damage though.
Yeah.
Overall, yeah.
I'm probably pulling my sword a little bit
Really,
just out of
Gilroy?
guilt on this one. So.
Just because you killed,
No, I meant that sincerely.
Yeah, no,
17 always feels good.
Yeah.
Which brings us to Arena and the rest of your allies. Arena, who literally just got stabbed in the back, out of nowhere. That Adrian managed to find, in a very roguish maneuver, a good weakness in her armor and gives a good shank. And you can see the red pouring from her side and dripping onto the deck. However, she brings forth her mace, twirls it a bit, and slams it down with a divine-looking strike. She's gonna hit. A 1 and 3. She's gonna be dealing 9 points of damage on that hit.
For some reason, this is just going to be a scary fight if we.
Which notably is a decent enough comeback for on Adrian for him to be a bit concerned about his choice of target. Jantel is going to look down this way and make 2 attacks against this spear and shield in there. She is going to miss and hit for 10 damage. Pretty good. So that's Jantel and Rena. Ulrich is going to charge at this one here with a very guttural battle cry that you would not expect out of the son of an acolyte. He charges forth, slashing down his sword. He's going to be dealing a full 6 points of damage, but it's still something. He begins engaging with that guy. Which brings us to Olorin, who charges over here, slashes down at that guy with his longsword, gleaming as it has ever since Gilroy derusted it for 4 damage. Jesus.
We're getting our sea legs.
Yep. Bilberry runs forth. He makes it about halfway across the deck, and Zorn points his finger off in that direction. It's going to attempt to hit. Actually, it's a total mess in front of him. He's not going to. He's going to ready an action, and if an opening occurs for him, he's going to attempt to do some scorching rays. But until that point, it's mostly his allies in front of him, so he's just not going to do that into your back. Which brings us to the top of the round with Gilroy.
So I have one guy directly in front of me.
Yes.
That Olorin and Erlon are taking care of, sort of.
Yep.
And Adrian is on the side of the boat there.
He is.
Sort of almost right in front of me. And we've got a couple guys still on the boat.
Yeah, especially by Leander, notably. It's where most of the crowd has gathered.
Okay, is disengage? That's like a movement action.
It is gore movement, yeah.
Alright, I'll disengage from this guy.
So a step back.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I think, that familiar blue haze that we saw in the Necromancer's basement.
Yes.
Comes over the sort of bow of the boat, maybe seeping up over the edges of the boat itself from the river, and 6 creatures sort of in this area here. Any 6 guys? I don't know. It looks like there's more than that, probably.
You just want to do the 6 closest to you?
Well, actually, the 6 furthest. Those 6 that are
okay, sure.
between Leander and Jantel.
All right.
And yeah, they have to make a wisdom save.
A success. A fail. A fail. A fail. A fail. And a success. So 4 out of 6.
So 4 of them have -2 AC, -2 to Dex, can't take reactions, can either do an action or a bonus action, and no more than 1 attack.
All right, I'm gonna
That's pretty
snail.
good.
Snails. Boom. Nice. So yeah, you commit to another slow spell, which causes it to become their turn. After that disengage and spell, that blue mist coming about them and causing them to literally slow down mid-motion. This guy here, seeing as it's their turn, steps here. That's all he can do. This one that is slowed next to him is going to be making his attack against Leander.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be throwing a 22.
Yep.
Going to be dealing 5 points of damage, reduced to 2 points of damage. Here's an attack from one that is not slowed. Does a 20 hit you?
Nope.
Clang against that beautiful new armor you bought.
Mm.
An attack from another one who is slowed. Natural 20. For 17 points of damage.
Jesus.
And that is with your -3. Yeah, that guy has a great sword. Final slowed guy. Where'd that go? Misses. This guy moves up into the melee next to you, though he seems to be focusing on the deckhand. He's going to suffer some attacks.
I'll impose disadvantage on one of them.
Okay. Good thing, too. Because he misses.
What are you rolling into a bathtub? What do you got back there?
I'm trying new things.
Okay.
You're going to be taking 7 points of damage from the second hit, though. One attacks Ulrich. You miss. One attacks Merrick. Gonna hit. 10. One attacks. Guess it's gonna attack Erlon. Definitely the most notable. Misses badly. And then Adrian. Adrian is going to disengage from Arena as a bonus action. Move up behind Leander. Try and stab him in the back.
And I just wanted to say, I think Leander probably ignored the fact that Adrian went for Arena, just for the fact that, A, he probably thought it was just another kind of...
Yeah, it might take a minute to put
right.
two and two together.
He probably didn't even notice that she got stabbed. He
Yep.
was looking at, he's probably looking the other way, or deep in his book.
Oh, definitely. So you can be making 2 attacks against you.
Right.
A 5.
No.
No. And a 20, so no.
No.
Ooh. But he is close.
He's
and if
about-
he got the hits in, they're sneak attacks, man.
Oh, yeah.
Which takes it from the baddies to Melee. Melee, up from that vantage point, you can actually see that fight going on in the distance pretty well and have an angle on it.
Mhm.
Zorn is not smart enough to make his way up there.
I need a sharpshooter for Adrian.
Okay.
8.
Yeah, it's a miss on that one.
So I'll try again.
Okay.
18.
18, yes.
Nice.
They're celebrating that roll.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Everyone tonight. Max damage.
21.
You guys 16 plus, or yeah. Oh, jeez.
Man, Melee, thank you for having my back.
Yeah, you feel, Leander, in this combat, 2 pressing stabs against you. One of them gets very close, and you know those were going for the back of your neck. Like
Right.
this guy, whoever it is attacking with precision, and it will hurt if he gets in on this. And then you feel them stop.
Yeah.
Because there is suddenly, quite a quite narrow, just jammed in his back. He gives out a coughing sputter. Which brings us to Leander. Leander,
And I-
you are completely surrounded.
I know,
on all
I
angles
really-
now.
I really am. I think I'm gonna turn around and face Adrian,
Okay.
and I'm gonna...
The one guy that's moving at full speed.
How long does slow last? Like a minute?
I'd have to look.
Lasts a while.
Yeah.
Might be 10 minutes with concentration, but I
Right.
can't remember. Off the top.
No, you do whatever. I mean, I was just teasing.
I just don't want to get stabbed in the back.
Fair enough.
So I turn around and can I make a non-leap? Can I just like try and punch him with the like
With
gaunt?
the hilt?
Right, yeah.
Sure, yeah, go for it.
And I'm gonna use the superiority die with the precision
Okay.
strike. So I just want to
It's
really
your
make
one
sure.
today, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just making
Nice
sure.
D8. Yeah.
Yeah. For like 29.
Yes.
I absolutely clock this guy in the face. So I do, I think, 4 damage.
Just you would flat out do 4 damage.
It's
at
one.
least?
It's 1 damage plus 3 for my strength.
But it's more with gauntlets, I think.
He only
I
has
think-
2 HP left, so your strength modifier alone would take care
Yeah.
of it. So yes, you knock him out cold, and I'll throw an X over him, as in he is not dead.
Right, he'll probably bleed out in a few minutes or something, but at least for now he's not just gonna instantly.
Yep. Okay. You punch him right in the face, and he falls back cold.
And then I swing back around to
Yeah.
the guy at like half health next to the deckhand
Sure.
that's slowed, and making a regular divine smite on him.
A regular divine smite. Your everyday divine
For
smite.
Leander's regular,
Yeah, yeah.
everyday average divine smite for a 25 to
Yes.
hit, doing 12 damage. 12 damage to that
You
guy.
nearly killed him.
Nearly.
Nearly. It's
Maybe the deckhand can finish him off.
Yeah, you're definitely hoping that.
But I guess other than that, he's just trying to keep his shield at his back, making
Sure.
sure he doesn't get
Yeah, absolutely. You're handling it pretty well thus far.
Right.
Which brings us to Erlon.
So yeah, I continue forward with the motion again, using my momentum. I spin around and go to slash at its stomach.
Okay.
And that is a 19.
Yes.
There we go. So that's 12 damage, and Malara moves in front of Gilroy, actually. That's part of the Ancestral Protectors, so whenever she does... Or he's gone. But
yeah, he
if
died.
he had lived, you would have gone resistance if they hit you to any of the damage
Awesome.
from her.
Keep that in
protectors,
mind.
right?
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah.
It will help you.
Yeah, that's good.
Anything else, Erlon? You still have a move action if you'd like to take it.
Yeah, I'm going to move up towards Leander because I clearly see him...
Okay, you
Pretty
run
surrounded.
past Arena, who is kind of patting down her wounds and checking over if she's like actually bleeding out as she stands up. And you run past Merrick, who is currently dueling away with his dual longswords against another true Sarin that he's battling it out with, and make your way up to, Leander. Actively surrounded and has taken a few hits, but of course is holding his own. Which brings us to Arena. Arena's going to cast a Cure Wounds on herself. She is going to be healing for 10 damage. Pretty good. I guess the deckhand will attempt to attack the one that you attacked, Leander. You're going to hit. For max damage, he kills it. Thank God. Bilberry dashes up with quick little halfling feet. He moves through this battle and gets right up on next to the deckhand and jumps at that guy's chest with daggers. A ferocious move from him. With a natural 20.
Wow.
Yeah, he would have killed that guy if he was at max health.
I think he did that to an ogre, too.
just jumped on his back, just kept stabbing.
Yeah, he did
That's right.
pretty good there, too. So yeah, Bilberry actually makes you get a little bit of a heroic show out of this deck battle. Jantel will bring 2 shots down on the slowed guys. They have -2 AC, right?
Yeah.
Then she hits. And another hit. So you're going to hit one of them for... Oh, there we go. Now it turns around. 16 damage. She launches 2 arrows into this guy's back. Doom, doom. Does good damage. Who else do we have? Ulrich. Misses. Merrick. Kills his guy. Olerin charges on up and manages actually to get a hit on this one next to you, Leander. Gonna hit. For 7. I think that's about it, except for Zorn, who is still kind of just looking out for a good opportunity. He also almost exclusively focuses on fire, and setting the ship on fire wouldn't be a good idea, so he knows that.
Fair enough.
Gilroy.
Alright, here's, can Silas, are we still moving?
Yes. We're gonna bring up this question.
Yes, can Silas move on the boat?
Yes, he can.
Even though he's floating?
Or does he have to constantly float to keep up with the boat?
Yeah, or
Yeah,
is
if
he
the
just...
boat moves more than 20 feet every few seconds, he gets left behind.
Yeah, is he just like slammed up
We're
against the
gonna
captain's quarters
ignore
wall?
the nature of the physics of this and say that Silas can manage to keep up. Like I don't know, if you're already carrying a baseball in a car, like the baseball's moving as fast as the car is.
I think you should tie him to a rope around your waist like a little kid with a balloon.
Yeah. That like wants to float away. Yeah, I'd considered that, definitely. Well, alright, well, if we're gonna, I mean, he's a magic being.
Yeah,
so...
Will actually.
Yeah.
It's a funny question, though. A funny thought.
I think I'm gonna send him at the other boat, the boat that I originally set on fire.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, that thing's burning.
Good. He's gonna fly through the flames at those 2 guys with the crossbows.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I summon him up. He flies over across the planks through those flames, and these beams of heat come from his eyes, and I have to roll for each of them. This is gonna be technically scorching ray.
Okay.
So 14.
14 hits these guys. They are wearing the leather.
23.
Yep.
So that's at the front guy, we'll say, and one on the back.
Sure.
And 23.
Yep. So all of them hit. So
Alright.
46 for the first guy.
Yeah.
Nice.
11, 16, 19.
Got him.
Sweet.
So Silas moves on through the smoke, concentrates a beam, and melts that guy.
And 8 on the second.
Okay.
Sounds gonna be scary.
Yeah. Pretty significant damage on the second guy as well, who is glancing about in fear, has no clue where this is coming from. That brings us. That actually brings us to the baddies, though their turn keeps disappearing. So, yeah, that one not finding a good person to. Oops. To shoot at. He's going to shoot at Merrick. Gonna miss. Then those two up there are going to shoot at Gentel. A hit. And a miss. So Gentel is going to be taking 4 points of damage. One attack against Leander. No. 21.
Yep.
No. And then this one is going to actually turn around and face you, Erlon. Make a slash at you. A miss. So 1 hit on Leander. He's going to be doing a full 7 overall.
So 10.
So 10, yeah, minus 3. Then we have this one that's on Ulrich. Gonna hit. Gonna be dealing 8. Oh, okay. And that's about it for the baddies as far as I can see. Which is going to bring us back to melee.
The boat Silas was on.
Yes, the one to the south, quote unquote.
Yes, you sharpshooter try and get that last.
Sure.
8.
Not that time.
Try again.
Nice.
There you go. 19.
Yes.
A lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Every single damage roll has been
It's all
max
8s
damage.
this time?
Yeah.
Wow. So what does that come to? 21.
Damn.
Guy gets
Silas-
pinned to the mast.
Yeah, Silas does not have to worry about that anymore, as an arrow just drops that guy immediately.
Dang. Melee's really. She's just.
Pretty good at this.
She's
yeah.
sniping people tonight.
Hashtag killing it.
Yeah.
And then that brings us to Erlon. Erlon, this dude foolishly turns around back from Leander and slashes out at you, giving you a
Yeah.
but not really very effective.
And I just yell, "You fool! Can't you see what you're doing?" And then I, go to make for a stab
Sure.
right through his chest. And 11.
No.
All right. I'm gonna retreat my blade a little bit and then swing around for a chop at the shoulder.
Okay.
Nope. 10.
Not that time. Just locked into combat with him. Which brings us from Erlon to Leander.
Right. I'll swing at the guy kind of to the northeast of me.
Sure.
The most damaged one.
Yep. Yeah, you just recently took 2 arrows in the back from Gentel.
Right. I'll make it just a normal attack. So I kind of cut through the air, hoping to just bring this guy down. 10.
No.
No. I'll take us another swing.
Okay.
No. Same roll.
The deck is slippery from blood.
Well, I mean, he has 4 dudes next to him.
Yeah.
He's got a lot to keep track of.
Which brings us to all your allies. We are going to natural 20 for Ulrich. For 14, 17 damage. Always natural 20 myself.
As I say. Characters are dope.
Yep. Vilbury will turn around and attempt to get a quick little slash in there that'll take this guy out. And he's definitely going to get it. There's no point in rolling on that. He had advantage and everything. This deckhand manages to run down to the lower deck. Undoing this latch, he escapes from the melee. This is a lot going on here. 2 attacks against Gentel because she kind of deserves it for her position up there. No hits. And then here goes the ones against Leander. Gonna be 3 swings. No. No. Barely. And yes. 22. We'll be doing 5 points of damage from that slash.
How much health do you have me at?
In game?
Yeah.
No, this one only is at 40. It should be at 50 what?
51.
51. My bad.
I was say, it looks like I have very little health.
Yeah, now you look like you have less health.
Well, I have 20.
Oh, then you actually have 20. Yeah, my bad. For some reason you got a different Leander here. Boom. So that brings us from...
It's just scaring me.
And then this one is going to be attacking Erwin. It's going to be throwing a 16.
Yes.
And dealing 5 points of damage, reduced to 3 to 2. Round down, right?
Yeah.
2 points of damage. Woo! Yeah, I think that's about it on that part. Was that our allies that were just going? Oh, my bad. Then we'll be able to just kind of skip over some of these guys anyway. Gentel.
Because they're dead.
Yeah. We'll shoot that guy once at least. 9. That's enough. This guy dies. That guy died. Olerin will make a slash or attempt to. He's gonna miss. And then Arena will charge on up over here and throw a Cure Wounds on you, Leander. Oh no. Adrian got all mixed up. You're going to be healing up for 9 points. Which brings us from the baddies, or the goodies, to Gilroy.
Okay, where is Merrick?
Merrick is right here at the bottom. He just finished up battling away with one of these guys, and kicks him over the edge of the boat into the waters with a splash, and looks out at the rest of the melee and just kind of sits back, looking at what's going on.
Alright. I was just curious. I suppose I'll finish off some dudes.
There's a whole mess of them still over here. That's just flailing swords and shields and armor clanging. It sounds like a mess. And then there's 2 of them up over this way.
Yeah, I'll let Silas move northwards.
Over the battle?
Over the battle, just... pss.
Okay.
Yeah. How many guys is there? 2?
There's 2 up there, yep.
Alright. That was like a real roll. 10.
No!
11.
No!
21.
Yes.
Alright. 7 damage.
You know.
Yeah.
The rest of them rail along the deck of that small boat and just leave lines of fire that begin to spread. Even if these men were to succeed in this battle, they'd have to abandon everything they brought here.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the baddies. I actually already did all the melee for the baddies in the middle. And I shot at Chantel. So that means the baddies have taken their turn. There's none left otherwise. Which brings us to melee.
I'm going to slide over to the other side of the captain,
Sure.
and I'm going to use sharpshooter to the other 2.
Those other 2 guys?
Yes.
You're going to target the one that's been hit? Or...
Yes.
Okay.
What is with the force tonight?
8.
It always begins with an 8.
So we'll try again.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
I rolled an 18.
Okay,
So
yes, so 22? Yeah, you got him.
Man, your damage has been
So
crazy good.
19.
19, that takes him out.
Or, yes.
Boom, another one down as another 2 arrows. One of them going just past him. The rocking of the boat has you a little bit off balance for the first shot, and sinks right into the water beyond the boat. The second one right on target, hits him right in the chest. He falls off the boat with a splash, which brings us to Erlon.
So I realize with this guy, I haven't been making a huge effort, probably just because of a little bit of my grief, but now I just kind of close my eyes, opening myself up and recklessly bring the blade down, hopefully into his collarbone. And natural 20.
Nice.
Natural 20 or a 1.
Yeah, natural 20 or a 1, so that worked out really well in my favor.
The extremes, the yin and yang of D&D.
And let's see, so... That's... So, 6 plus 6 is 12 damage. So not great, but...
12 all in all?
Yeah, I'd roll a 2 and a 1 on my d6s.
Alright.
And then I'll go again.
Yeah, second slash.
Yeah, and I'll just recklessly just bring it down again, just start like hacking at it. And yeah, brutal. So that is 23.
Yes. She gone.
And that is 11 damage.
Yeah, that time you get
Nice.
a quick slash into the collarbone, and then wasting no time seeing this man in his weakened state, you slash on about, bring it right across his throat, and he bleeds out, dropping down. And Malara gives you a saddened yet accepting nod. Like, this is the way things need to go. Which brings us from Erlon to Leander. Leander, there's these 2 next to you. Deckhand managed to run away. Bilberry and Ulrich have pretty much finished up their guy over there. Are going to toss him overboard. It looks like this is winding down.
Yep, I think I'm going to use a 2nd level Divine Smite on the slowed one.
Okay.
Just, the burning, I guess, kind of white heat coming down, cutting through the air, bringing it down for 14.
Oh, no!
Okay.
You don't waste your Divine Smite.
Yeah,
Let's
you
do
have
it
to use
again.
it until hit.
There we go. So, missing, but then going in for a stab.
Thrust with the same effect on your weapon.
7, 13, 15, 19 damage.
Got him.
Nice.
Straight through the armor, through his defensive block, and right through the leather, with definitely a attack guided by the Divines. Which brings us from Leander to our allies. 2 arrows into the back of that guy there. 1 miss. 1 natural 20. You're doing 14, 17 damage. Nearly dead. Bilberry, actually, noting this, will run on over, and with the flank, attempt to sneak attack this guy. No way! I must have just grabbed that and put it back down on the 20. I'm gonna roll that again. Okay, it's still a hit. For 10, 11, yeah, more than enough. Bilberry shanks this guy, finishing him off. He falls to the ground. And then we just have that one dude left on the boat.
Maybe just jumps off.
Yeah, pretty much. Jumps off and begins to attempt to swim the hell away from here. Seeing that this went downhill very quick. The crew kick off the planks that connected the boats with your ship, and the boat once again continues west down the river, leaving behind those 2 burning True Sarin boats as just piles of wreckage. A bit of blood in the water, too. And everything seems to go a bit quiet, with the exception of Ulrich Green, or Adrian Liverton, who is rolling about on the ground and trying to become conscious.
Right. I think I'll probably ask Erlon if you can tie him up to the post, the mast.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
And I think I wave across to Melee, and I'm kind of just thanks for having my back there.
I'm gonna go down, near the group.
Okay, you can join. Yeah.
Can I take the time after that to, put the bodies off the ship into the water?
Absolutely, yeah.
So with, tears in my eyes, very stern face, just kind of dropping them off the side, watching them sink under the water and just feeling not so great.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a rather somber battle as far as you're concerned. Yet, you do have the peace of them being returned to nature for certain, instead of just being burned away on a boat or something along those lines.
Mhm.
The fish will make good use of them. And as you're doing that, Merrick Orland, leaning back, cleaning off his long swords after he slayed that one true Sarin, looks towards you as you toss him overboard, and he goes, "Now why do they deserve that?"
They're still people of Sarangar. They've made mistakes, but this is their land, and they should begin the cycle to be back a part of it.
I can see where you'd think that, but as far as I've found, respect for the enemy does you no good when it comes to cutting them down.
Well, maybe you should mind your own business and let me take care of my people before, you become my enemy.
You kicked off that one you killed, so...
Well, that was just a fancy maneuver on my part.
Sure.
As you say, as you walk on past, conjoin with the rest of the group, just sure.
Thank you, Manny.
He walks on over towards the captain after Merrick Orland does, after that quick conversation.
Right, and I guess, we're not that battered up.
No, not horribly so.
I guess I probably pull up a chair in front of Adrin Liverton and kind of just wait for him to
Come to?
come to his senses.
Yeah, he's definitely not quite dying. He's stirring about. I'm just going to reposition everyone real quick.
Yeah.
Zorn and Bilberry and Older and get back to talking about the days ahead.
I don't think no deckhands died, right?
No, it doesn't seem so. That one was caught in the worst position. The other ones managed to get underground first. After actually everything goes completely quiet from the melee. Now I'm regretting naming her a pun. After all that goes quiet, the captain calls out, "Now that was a lot of wasted gold on their part. 2 ships full of men, and for what?" And all of the men rowing beneath go, "Ha ha ha!" Just like without anyone on deck, there's this laughter roaring out from this ship.
Right. They probably didn't even know what
was really happening. No, there's a lot of scuffling going on aboard.
Sure's getting hot down here.
yeah, for real. It's always hot down here. And then you guys tie up Adrian, and you set out in front of him, Leander, as he comes to, a bloodied face from the flail hit, and a few arrows still in his back. He goes, "That didn't go well." Coughs up a bit of blood.
I think Leander has the hood of his cloak up, kind of at the moment, as he sits in front of him. I think he says something along the lines of, "Midnight Court not paying well enough?"
Maybe, some of them. Velius didn't like the way that I just handed stuff over to you. So, found a new beneficiary. There's more than one chapter of the Midnight Court, you know. One of them seems to really take in kindness to the true Sarin.
Do you think you could help us out with who that might be?
It depends. You let me bleed out?
I'll give you this. You tell us, and I make it quick. You don't? Well, let's see how many fingers I break before you do.
Throw an intimidation check and use strength as the modifier.
Strength as a modifier?
And if you're intending to intimidate this guy with your physical being, then yeah.
Okay.
There's no subtlety to your words, exactly, so...
So, just plus the strength modifier, right? Not the saving throw, obviously?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You're not, unless you're proficient in intimidation.
I am not.
Then yeah, just strength.
Okay. Natural 1. So I'm probably still crying, like... You better tell me.
No. you throw out that line, but it's obvious. Adrian, he thinks he's on his way out already. So he goes like, do your worst. I already got my goal.
I knew that would happen.
It's classic.
Yep.
Truth is, I don't know his name. He's a young man. He lives in Riversend now.
Well, what do you want to do with him, Erlon?
Well, I'm not needlessly cruel. I think we should just be done with it.
Just throw him in the water.
I'm not needlessly cruel.
Throw a tied up man in the water.
No, not tied up.
I don't think Torm would look
I think
favorably upon that.
You don't know what Torm would want. No. I honestly think Leander probably... I'll use like 5 points of lay on hands on him. And I say, Erlon, you can choose what... I'm sure the captain would have use for him doing something.
Arena shakes her head and she goes, well, there's an idea. What if we take all this stuff as payment and leave him to row this damn boat? The captain goes, yeah, suitable punishment for certain.
I think that's a good alternative.
Adrian looks up. Definitely a bit more clear since he's not bleeding out anymore, though definitely in a lot of pain. He goes, I'd rather die. You can't have me row this boat, a prisoner for years?
Well, if you want to fight with my people, and you call yourself one of the true Sarin, why don't you live by the rules of my countrymen, and we battle to the death?
On second thought, show me down, boys. And 2 deckhands come up. They look towards you for an affirmative, like, untie this guy?
Well, I mean, I guess since I'm the closest one, I'll, take his belt of daggers or whatever.
Yes, he has a good many. You get 2 + 1 magical daggers. And also 400 gold.
Wow. So, 100 each. And I guess melee...
It's always convenient.
And none for our friends.
Yeah, we don't tell our friends this exactly. Yeah.
It's a group fund.
Don't worry, looking over, goes, you guys have the most expenses by far. We can take care of ourselves.
Melee, would you want those daggers?
One of them.
Yeah, you can always use them to throw.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. All right. So
1 magical dagger for Melee, and 1 sticks with Leander.
All right.
For now. They escort Adrian down to the bottom, and it seems as though they're going to give him some time to rest, but many years ahead of hard work for Adrian Liverton.
What a coward.
Yeah, he's just a scumbag. I mean, Leander doesn't say that, but...
He was just a scumbag.
I don't think Torm would mind.
Yeah.
Mealy can say that. She would say
Yeah. And
Definitely.
the day goes by after that rather quietly, once again returning to passing by the countryside hamlets, small docks, canoes of fishing villagers, and small merchant vessels filled with furs. And finally, on the beginning of the 3rd day, actually quite a bit ahead of schedule, the captain, Captain Grimnor, takes the wheel once more and cries out to the rest of the crew, and you guys as well, and goes, River's End ahead! And I think that's where we're going to cut to break for now. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. I hope you are enjoying episode 9 of the Lands of Alaire. If you are really liking it, make sure to subscribe and follow our channel. And
yes, we are a sub-enabled channel here on Twitch. For $5 a month, you can help support us and keep all this entertainment going.
Yeah.
And you get access to some pretty sweet chat emotes, custom, exclusive Freakopolis chat emotes.
Totally. And if you're really, really enjoying it, do me a favor and throw it a share on Facebook or Twitter or wherever you like to hang out. Show your friends and maybe get them in here so that we can all have a good time together. And we will be back after a quick break. Catch you later, guys.